Back on the campaign trail, the Easter truce ends as Scott Morrison's predecessor joins the fray. A man charged after a policeman is stabbed in the back with a hunting knife at Sydney's Central Station.
This was just a cowardly attack from behind on a police officer doing his job, keeping the community safe.
Two men arrested in Northern Ireland in connection with the shooting death of journalist Lyra McKee. And the Saints become surprise leaders after blowing away the Demons at the MCG. Hello and welcome to ABC News. I'm Lara Himes. After a week of piling pressure on Bill Shorten over his climate change policy, Scott Morrison's coming under attack from his own side. The former Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull has made his first campaign intervention criticising the coalition for dumping his signature energy policy. And questions are still being asked about a major water buyback signed off by the former Agriculture Minister Barnaby Joyce. Here's political reporter Jane Norman. A police officer is recovering after being stabbed in the back with a hunting knife at Sydney Central Station. A 53-year-old man has been charged over the attack, which police describe as cowardly and unprovoked. Authorities on Queensland's Fraser Island are hunting for the dingoes responsible for yesterday's terrifying attack on a toddler. The 14-month-old is in a stable condition in hospital after he was dragged from his family's camper van by a dingo. The boy's father chased the dingoes 15 metres before he was able to wrestle his son from the jaws of a wild dog. Three young men accused of fatally shooting a doctor on Brisbane's south side have had their charges mentioned in court. It's alleged Dr Lu Peng Zheng was shot in the chest just before midnight on Monday while in the garage of his McGregor home. Officers charged three men aged 17, 19 and 20 in relation to the murder. The accused did not appear in court this morning and were remanded in custody. Police believe the doctor's death was an attempted robbery gone wrong. A football fan has been stripped of his Adelaide Crows membership after he racially vilified one of the game's Indigenous stars. Port Adelaide's Paddy Ryder described the slur directed towards him as an attack on Aboriginal culture. Both Port and the Crows have conceded that the code still has some way to go in stamping out racism among spectators. Two teenagers have been arrested over the shooting death of a journalist during a riot in the Northern Ireland city of Londonderry. As vigils were held in Derry for the young woman, leaders from the UK and around the world have united in condemnation. A group called the New IRA is being blamed for the violence. A Californian couple has been sentenced to life in prison for torturing and starving 12 of their 13 children. As the victims publicly recounted their years of trauma, the parents broke down in court and asked for forgiveness. Staying in the United States, and the Democrats have taken legal action to try to access the entire Mueller report into Russian election meddling as they escalate their investigation into Donald Trump. A version of the document released yesterday provided the president's opponents with plenty of ammunition, but the party is still deciding on the best way to use it. North America correspondent James Glenday has more from Washington. Time for sport now. Here's Meredith Sheehan. And that's the latest from ABC News. I'm Lara Himes. Stay with us. Foreign correspondent is coming up next.